Alright, so we decided to ditch this idea of having two running up. What I'm going to do instead is just put 3/4 inch plywood down. It's going to take 3 sheets. This way it'll end up being just a flat top surface, and it'll be plenty strong for what I need to do with it. So I got to get to work. Let's do this. So here's where we are so far. I took off the decking in terms of the 2 spots, almost like as if it was a spot for a wheel, because it's pretty much set up like this lift. And that's originally what I was going for because of that lift. But I decided to change my ways, and I wanted to go with a flat top trailer. So these beams, that one, this one, that one, and the very farthest one were 3 feet apart. It's basically going to be a 12, 13 foot trailer with a flat top on it. We're going to go with 3/4 inch plywood. Now there's enough. I mean, this is only a foot, not even a 1.5 feet of space now, or about a 1.5 feet of space. So realistically, it's not going to be a problem for the plywood. I'm not worried about it bowing or sagging, and if it does, I'll just reinforce it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to go straight onto the top of this, I guess, bumper, if you will, the rear section of it. We're going to cut around the actual tires. So this way it's just going to be one clean deck, and it's going to be great, honestly, to have this trailer, because I recently sold my car hauler and my pickup truck, and I don't have a trailer, so you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And not having a trailer really sucks. So I'm pretty excited to have this, honestly, for multiple different reasons, not just, you know, moving the toys around. I'm going to use this for everything. My girlfriend and I recently just moved, and man, it was a pain in the butt. That's only like a 5 by 5 foot bed on the back of that Jeep. If I had this trailer, it would have made everything so much easier. But you know, when we move again, I'm sure it's going to happen. That's when we'll use the trailer. So this is where we're at so far. Tomorrow I plan on picking up the plywood for the decking, and we'll pretty much go from there. So. Do a walk around to the trailer. So we got 3/4 inch plywood down. It's painted underneath and on top. It's got 3 sheets, making it 12 feet long, 8 feet wide. I'm gonna get another sheet and kind of rip it down so that I can get that extra 1.5 feet, make it 13.5 feet. I don't know, maybe I'll come out a little farther and make it 14 feet. I have my buggy is 8 feet 4 inches long, 5 feet wide. It'll fit on this flawlessly with no problem, and I have plenty of room as it is to fit a quad on there too. And obviously, next thing is I'm gonna get rid of this old crank. It does not have a crank anymore, and I got this for $16 at Harbor Freight. You can't beat it, and that's it fully extended as high as it'll go. And then you weld this guy to this part of the frame, and then you have a much more sturdy crank than that mess. I didn't want a wheel because it's a trailer. You want the wheel for like if it is a boat trailer, so you're gonna move them around the yard and stuff like that. It's easier to have the wheel, but this is gonna be one of those things where when I park it, it sits until I hook up with it again. So I also got a light kit that was like $16 as well. I got a couple of these tie downs. I got 4 of them. I'm gonna probably put 2 of them up here. I'm gonna lag bolt them into, so they're gonna go straight into those real thick stringers, so won't have any issues with anything coming loose. They were really cheap. They were $1.99 each from Harbor Freight, so I'm pretty excited about that. We cut out 10 inches by I think 14. I think this one was 16 by 10, and it's not exactly centered, but it's close enough. Now I'll have plenty of room to build a wooden or metal. I don't know. It depends. I'll go to Fazio's, which is a metal supply place that I buy all my metal from, and I'll see how much an actual metal one is. I'd rather build a wooden one though, because it's cool. I like that. I got this real thick beam on the back, as you saw in earlier videos. That's going to provide a lot of strength for the ramps, because I'm actually not going to hook the ramp up like with that. I'm not going to sit the ramp down on top of this. I'm going to have the ramp butt up against it, so it'll actually hook. The ramp will hook somewhere here. It'll be even more shallow. It'd be much, it's not high now. I actually don't even know how high it is because I didn't measure it, but I wanted to keep the deck as low as possible, so it's the easiest to get things on and off of this. And I don't mean just the buggy. I plan on using this thing for other things as well. Like moving things around if I want to get some mulch or whatever the deal is. Whatever we decide to do. Mainly though, I built it for the buggy and for a quad in the future. So I'm pretty excited about it. Only thing I had to pay for was the paint. That was pretty cheap. I bought the little things you just saw, and I bought the 3 sheets of plywood and then a box of screws. So, I'm in this thing under $100, which blows my mind. So I didn't go with crazy expensive plywood. I went with the cheapest 3/4 inch plywood I could find. So it will rot over time. But I'm not too worried about it because I sealed it. I should get a couple of years easily before. I put galvanized screws in it too, so that they won't rot. So when it comes time to replace the probably rotted deck, I can just unscrew it. Now I'm not done yet. I do want to put some sides on it, a little bit of a lip. This way it'll clean up the edges. It'll look nice and clean, like the back part here. I'm gonna put a new axle under it because this one's pretty rotted, and this wheel's got a little bit of a camber going on, which is a little sketchy. So that's no good. So we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna replace that. That's really cheap. Fazio's as well. Just get one long bar, and I'll just cut these hubs off and weld these hubs on the new bar. And yeah, just like that, I have a trailer that you could go buy at Hecht for, I don't know, $2,000-$3,000. They're crazy expensive. I paid nothing for this, and I have all the receipts for everything that I bought, and I have obviously video footage of me building this along with pictures. So I'll take that to the Nightmare, New Jersey DMV and register it as a homemade trailer. I have all the credentials that I need in order to register this trailer as a homemade trailer. So I'll have an actual plate for the first time on any of my trailers in 10 years. So that's pretty exciting. But that's where we're at so far, and stick with me because next episode we're going to be making this thing look pretty. See you next time.